Hello students, I hope you all are well. So today in this class, I'm going to start the second chapter, that is linear equation in one variable, and we will be dealing with the first exercise 2.1. But before that, I just want to clear it in your mind that there are two things that you need to remember. One is variable, where you will be using some alphabets and in different situations their answer would be different. And the another would be the constant. Constant means the number. Their value is not going to be changed at all. And also, don't forget that you are dealing with the equations, so you will definitely get an equal sign here. So let's start with our first question, that is, solve the following equations. X minus 2 is equal to 7, which implies that x is equal to 7 plus 2, because it is minus 2 here on your left hand side. When it will be transferred to the right hand side, it will be plus 2. That is, x is equal to 7 plus 2, 9, and your answer is here. Moving to the third part, that is 6 is equal to z plus 2. So first we will write 6 here, and plus 2 will be transferred to the left hand side because we need to separate this variable at any cost. So minus 2 is equal to z. Now after subtracting, you will get 4 is equal to z, or means you can also write it as z is equal to 4. So the answer of this third equation would be z is equal to 4. Now I hope you understood when there is one operator, the plus sign, minus sign, or the division or multiplication, then it is easy to transfer it directly. But when we have more than two operations in a single equation, like you will see here the number is written in the fractional form and also the plus sign has been used. So how to do these type of question? Firstly, as you can see here, the denominator is 7 and here also the denominator is 7. We will send this 3 by 7 from left hand side to right hand side. It means it would be x is equal to 17 by 7 minus 3 by 7. See, I have written minus 3 by 7 because the fraction was positive. When it is transferred on the right hand side, it became negative. See, the fraction has common denominator. So it would be 17 minus 3. And here x is equal to, which implies that x is equal to 14 by 7. As I told you, here are two operations. 14 divided by 7 can be done, bro. So 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14. And at last you would get x is equal to 2 as your final answer. Okay. Now let's see question number 7. 2x by 3 is equal to 18. So what number you are going to transfer first? 2 or 3? See this. 2 is nearer to x. So we are going to transfer this 3 at first to right hand side. So it would be 2x is equal to 18 multiplied by 3. Okay. Now in the next time you will be getting 18 3s are 54. Then x is equal to 54. 2 was in multiplication, so it will go in division. X is equal to, when you will solve, 2 1s are 2, 2s are 4, 2 7s are 14. You would be getting x is equal to 27 as your final answer. So here x is equal to 2 and here x is equal to 27. Now let's see one more different format where you will be using all these plus minus sign but the number in the decimal form. So the first 8th part of it is 1.6 is equal to y upon 1.5. Which digit we should actually transfer? We should transfer this 1.5 to 1.6. What you will get? You will get 1.6 multiplied by 1.5 is equal to y. And how will you multiply it? Don't get confused. Just multiply 16 by 15. You would get 240. And because 0.1 and 0.2, there are two numbers after point. So we will be putting point here, 1, 2 and at this place, and is equal to y. We can also write it as y is equal to 2.40, or if you are writing 2.4, there is no difference. Both the answers would be considered correct. Let's see the 10th part of it, which is 14y minus 8 is equal to 30. What do you think? Which number should be transferred? The 8 should be transferred. Why? Because 8 it is the distance from y and 14 is in the multiplication. So 14y is equal to 13 minus 8 would be transferred as plus 8 it would be 14y is equal to 13 plus 8, 21, and y is equal to 21 divided by 14. Can you see that both the numbers are the multiples of 7? Let's divide them. 7 2s are 14 and 7 3s are 21. We got a fraction as our answer. Yes, it is possible. So y is equal to 3 by 2 would be our required answer for question number 10. Okay. Now let's see a different variable in question number 11, that is p. So do not worry, it is as similar as the earlier question. We will write it as 17 plus 6p. I think we should transfer 17 because 6 is nearest to p, right? So 6p is equal to 9 minus 17. Now recall your concept of integers that you studied in the last class. When we are subtracting a bigger number from the smaller, it always becomes the negative sign, right? And you would be getting minus 8, right? Now p is equal to minus 8 by 6 because 6 was in multiplication. Now 8 and 6 both are the multiples of 2. So 2 3s are 6 and 2 4s are 8. What is your answer? You got p is equal to minus 4 by 3. That's it. Okay? Is it a fraction or a rational number? Yes, it is a rational number because it is in the form of negative fraction, right? Now let's see the 10th question of this exercise, which is x by 3 plus 1 is equal to 7 by 15. What do you think? X by 3 should be transferred there or 1? Definitely 1, because we need to separate the variables from the constants. So keep x by 3 here and transfer 1 on your right hand side. It would be minus 1. Now you need to take LCM. You could consider 1 here. Now you will take the LCM. You will get 15 as LCM of 15 and 1, and then 7 minus 15. The answer would be nothing but minus 8 by 15 and this 3, right? This 3 is in division. It will go in multiplication. After you will solve 3 1s are 3 and 3 5s are 15, you would get x is equal to minus 8 by 5 as your final answer. Now, I have a suggestion from my end. Repeat this video on a slow speed also to understand each and every minute thing which I tried to deliver you. And if you face any problem, do let us know. Okay students, so let's start with exercise 2.2, and here you need to deal with some word problems. They are very easy if you understand the demand of the question. So let's start with the first question of it, which is, if you subtract 1 by 2 from a number, have you seen this a number word? This a number tells you that you have to assume a variable here, okay? And multiply the result by 1 by 2, okay, you get 1 upon 8. If you are getting you get, you will get, or some sort of word, you will use equal sign at this place. So let's start with the solution. Let us assume that the number is x. Okay, so according to question, subtract 1 by 2 from a number and subtract 1 by 2 from 8. Okay, now multiply the result. This result need to be multiplied by 1 by 2. And what would you get? You will get 1 by 8. Now just a simple thing. Solve the equation. You will get x minus 1 upon 2 is equal to, see this, when you are transferring this 2 on that side, you would be getting 1 upon 8 multiplied by 2, right? Or you could write it as 2 by 1. So 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8. Now in the next step, you will get x minus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 4. And if you will solve it further, you will be getting x is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. And after taking the LCM of this whole process, the final answer for x would be nothing but 3 by 4. Okay, I hope you understood. So what is the answer? The number would be 3 by 4. Now let's see question number 2, that is the perimeter of a rectangular swimming pool is 154 meter. The length of it is 2 more than twice of breadth. Then find what are the length and the breadth of this pool. See, they said that breadth is x and according to them the length should be twice of it and 2 more than it. Then we will be using the perimeter of rectangle, that is 2l plus b, right? Put the value of perimeter, you will get 154. 2 as it is copied. Length is 2x plus 2. So it has been copied here, and then the value of breadth, that is x. 154 is divided by 2. Why I have sent 2 here? Because 2 was in the multiplication of the bracket, which has been turned into division when it was sent to the left hand side. So you left with 2x plus x, that is 3x plus 2. Now 154 divided by 2 will give you 77 is equal to 3x plus 2. Now you will transfer this 2 to 77 and you will subtract it, then you will get the result 75. When x is divided by x will be sending the 3 there, 75 divided by 3, you will be getting 25 meter. But hold on, this is not your last answer because they have required the length and the breadth both. In that case, the breadth is x would be 25 meter, no issues. But the length would be 2 times of the breadth, that is 52 meters. Now your final answer is breadth is equal to 25 meter and length is equal to 52 meters. Okay, let's start with the question number 3. The question is the base of an isosceles triangle, the triangle which have 2 equal sides, okay? That is 4 by 3 centimeter. The perimeter of the triangle is 4 whole 2 by 15 centimeter. What is the length of either of the remaining equal sides? So let's assume that the remaining sides are x each. Okay, so x and 4 by 3 centimeter. We know that the perimeter of a triangle is sum of all sides. Here we will be writing sum of all sides. Okay, no issues. Then when you will add x plus 4 by 3, here you will be writing 4 whole 2 by 15. Now convert this into a proper fraction. You will be getting an improper fraction, that is 62 by 15 is equal to 2x plus 4 by 3. When you will transfer 4 by 3 on your right hand side, you will get 2x is equal to 62 minus 20 by 15. And after subtracting, your answer would be x is equal to 62 minus 20, 42 by 15 divided by 2, right? And when you will cancel it out, you will get 21, 3 5s are 15 and 3 7s are 21. So the each side is going to be 7 by 5 centimeter of this isosceles triangle. Now let's see the fourth question of your textbook, that is the sum of two numbers is 95. Okay, there are two numbers. If one exceeds the other by 15, exceeds means it increases it, it adds on something, right? So let the number be x and other number is equal to x plus 15. Why I have taken x plus 15? Because the number is exceeding the other number by 15. Because the sum is 95. So according to question, sum means x plus 5 is equal to 95. So this x and this x, they will be added on and you will get 15 is equal to 95. When you will transfer it, you would be getting it as 2x is equal to 80 and x is equal to 40, right? So x is equal to 40, but again it is not your final answer. The answer would be number 40 and 40 plus 15, that is 55, and now it is your final answer. So let's see the question number 5 of your textbook. The question is the numbers are in the ratio 5:3. Okay, if you will be getting the numbers in the ratio format, always assume them as 5x and 3x or like 5y or 3y. Then the difference is 18. So difference means you have to subtract both of them. Obviously you can see 5x is greater than 3x. So 5x minus 3x is equal to 18. 5x and 3x will fetch you 2x. 2x is equal to 18. 2 is in multiplication, will go in division, and x is equal to 9. But 9 is not your answer. You need 5x and 3x, right? So the numbers are 5 multiplied by 9, that is 45, and 3 multiplied by 9, that is 27. So your answers would be 45 and 97. Okay, now question 6 of your textbook is 3 consecutive integers. Consecutive means the numbers or the integers which come one after the other. Add up to 51. So what are these integers? So we have assumed that the 3 consecutive integers are x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Because their sum is 51, so we have written x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. I would suggest you to keep the numbers in the bracket because sometimes there are the numbers in the form of minus sign also. So 3x plus 3 you will be getting here is equal to 51. 3x is equal to 51 minus 3, 48, and x is equal to 48 divided by 3, that is 16. So at last you will get your answer, x is equal to 16, x plus 1 is equal to 17, and x plus 2 is equal to 18. So the integers are 16, 17 and 18. Let's see the 7th question of your textbook. The question is, the sum of 3 consecutive multiples of 8 is 888. So find the multiples. Here we have taken the consecutive multiples of 8 in the form of 8x, 8x plus 1 and 8x plus 2. Remember the last question, in the consecutive integers we took x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Here they are specified as the multiples of 8. So we have simply multiplied by 8 to each of them. And the sum is 888. After putting them in a sequence, we got 24x plus 24 is equal to 888. After transferring 24 that side, you will get 864. And when you will divide 864 by 24, you will get 36. Now one value of x is 36. So what are your multiples? 8x means 8 multiplied by 36, 288. X plus 1, which is 36 plus 1, 37 multiplied by 8, 296, and 38 multiplied by 8, that is x plus 2 and 304. You can do one more thing, that after finding 288, just add on 8, 296, then again 8, 304 as your answer. Let's see the question number 8, which is 3 consecutive integers are such that when they are taken in ascending order and multiplied by 2, 3 and 4, respectively, they add up to 74. So because they are consecutive integers, we have taken x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Do not take 2x, 3x plus 1 and 4x plus 2. Why? Because you need to multiply these integers as per the question by these numbers, and you will get 2x plus 3x plus 3 plus 4x plus 8 is equal to 74. When you will add all the variables together, you would be getting 9x plus 11 is equal to 74. The 9x is equal to 63 and x is equal to 7. After this whole solution, you are not going to put your value in 2x, 3x plus 1 and 4x plus 2. Make sure your integers were x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Therefore, your answer would be x is equal to 7, x plus 1 is equal to 8 and x plus 2 is equal to 9. I hope you understood. So let's see the question number 9 of your textbook. The question says the age of Rahul and Harun are in the ratio 5:7. So it means you need to take their ages as 5x and 7x, and the sum of their ages after 4 years is 56. So in their ages we will be adding 4 for each, because after 4 years Rahul will be 4 years more than its present age and also Harun will be 4 years more than its present age. 5x plus 7x will fetch you 12x plus 8 is equal to 56. After solution, the value of x would be nothing but 4. Now put this value of 4 in the equation that you have assumed. Here 5x will be giving you 5 4s are 20 and 7x would be giving you 7 4s are 28, which are the ages of Rahul and Harun respectively. Now let's see the question number 11, which says Baichung's father is 26 years younger than Baichung. Okay. Grandfather and 29 years old than Baichung. Right? The sum of ages of all these three is 135. What is the age of each of them? Suppose if there are only 2 persons, it is easy to assume. But here we will be taking the chronology. Grandfather will be at the top, father will be in the middle, and the son means Baichung, he will be at the last. So who is the connection? The Baichung's father is the connection. That is why we are taking the age of Baichung's father as x, and Baichung's grandfather, obviously he will be older, so x plus 26, and Baichung would be younger than Baichung's father, so x minus 29. After putting them in a sequence as per the sum, we will get 3x minus 3 is equal to 135. That will fetch you x is equal to 46. And now put the values of x in your equation, assumed question, that is age of father is 46, age of grandfather is 72, and the age of Baichung is 17 years old. Okay. Now based on these questions which I have discussed with you, you need to solve some of the word problems by your own, and if you will face any problem, we will be definitely helping you. Have a nice day.